Hi there, this is Gloria Hack with RE/MAX Park Creek. There are 7 risks that homeowners take when they go it alone in today's market. The stakes are super high, decisions are made very quickly, and there is immense pressure on everyone involved in a transaction, which is why it's really important to have a seasoned professional on your side when you decide to sell your home. The temperatures of many real estate markets around the country is 100 degrees, and it feels more like 120 degrees. It is so hot that you could literally fry a hot egg on the sidewalk on an ultra hot day. This is a ultimate boom of pandemic. There's multiple offers, there's bidding wars, and people are able to really sell their homes on their own terms. So I would imagine a lot of people think, well, I don't need an agent. That's probably the furthest thing from my mind, is hiring a real estate agent to sell my home when the market is so hot. Ooh. It seems like selling on your own is dangerously easy. And you never want to think of something being dangerous and easy. Those two things do not go together. Both dangerous and easy carry their own risks. That's unknown. Now more than ever, sellers need a skilled agent on their side. All right, so one of the first things that you need to be aware of is availability and accessibility. So a listing has to, if it has any kind of saleability, if it's got a nice price point, if it has a good location, if it's in good condition, it's the combination of things, it's likely that a seller will have more showings than they can handle. So as a seller, how do you plan on handling an onslaught of showings? Multiple people want to go and see your property. Do you have some kind of showing management system that can help you accommodate all those showings and communicate with people? Because what ends up happening when you put your house on the market by yourself is your phone blows up. You get numerous people calling you. I would say a lot of times you're getting real estate agents that are calling you. It's not always buyers. I know that I've tried putting my home on the market and got realtors calling me wanting to sell my home. So you want to make sure that whoever is coming to see your house really is a buyer and they don't have any ulterior motives to see your house. So how do you handle that? Do you basically just open your doors up and say, okay, you can come and see the house anytime? There is a certain art to being able to schedule showings, and realtors know how to do this. It's very difficult for the typical layperson to be able to manage all of the nuances of showing properties. So how do you manage the dance of showing your property while also being respectful to other people's time as well as your time? When you manage showings the right way, you allow the buyer the time to be able to look at your home with in their own time frame, and you handle it very respectfully. If you don't handle it in a respectful way, people are going to end up stepping all over each other, and it's just not a nice thing when you've got too many people, especially during COVID times, being uncomfortable with seeing a property. So you really want to be able to manage that in a way that is very comfortable. You don't want people talking about your home in front of each other and actually coming to the conclusion that it's not worth what you're asking for. So those are some of the things that you need to manage when you are selling your home on your own. Showing and scheduling appointments. One of the second things that is super important during this COVID-19 times is being able to manage safety protocols. You need to, every state and every region has their own variations and they have their own laws of how COVID safety. Some people need to submit a COVID declaration saying that the people who are visiting the property are not ill and they do not have COVID, and they actually have to sign that. It's also very important everywhere that I've seen, people need to be wearing masks. They need to make sure that they're sanitizing, that they're keeping their distance, and they're not touching everything all over your house. So you want to be able to manage these types of interactions when people come to your house. This is safety protocol is something very important. You want to make sure that you're really not trying to overlap appointments, or you have a defined period of time where people are going to be looking at the property, but you want to make sure that nobody's sick, they're not touching things, you're sanitizing your property. And if you're living, for example, in a cold weather, you don't want 10 people to be in your house, in your nice toasty warm house, strangers in your house where they're exposing you and your household to the risk of COVID. So you need to be very careful. Each state has their own protocols. Here in Florida, we are required to wear masks. And so you want to be able to be very careful as far as following the protocols that are mandated by your area. Agents are educated on managing and implementing COVID protocols in their area, and they serve as the gatekeeper to keeping the seller's home safe and being responsible for showing activity, so that you have real decision makers who are coming to see your property and not just people who are looky-loos who have nothing else better to do on their day but to go see your house. So one of the third things that you need to be able to manage if you're selling your property on your own that is worth considering is, how is it that you are going to handle multiple offers in this hot market? Woo! There's bidding wars. There is offers. There's a lot going on when you're selling your home on your own. Do you know exactly how to handle multiple offers? Do you know what to do? Do you know if you have multiple offers, can you tell really which is the best of all the offers? Are you able to determine that? Because every offer is going to have its own nuances. There's going to be price variables, there's going to be financing variables, there will be inspection variables, contingency variables. There is so many things involved in being able to handle multiple offers depending upon where you are. And sometimes when you receive multiple offers, you may receive multiple offers on different kinds of contracts. So do you want an as-is contract? Do you want a sales and purchase agreement? Which of the two contracts are you going to want? So depending upon what you want to achieve will determine which is the best contract for you to have your offer on. A realtor will be able to protect your best interests and give you guidance on which is the best contract and what are the provisions that are necessary for your particular county, because every county is going to have their own different protocols. For example, in Miami-Dade and Broward counties, the buyer picks the title company. And in Palm Beach County, the seller picks the title company. So each county is going to have different provisions where you want to be able to, if you're working with an agent, they're going to be able to help you save money, because you may be in charge of paying something that really, based upon the protocols of the county, you don't have to pay for that. So knowledge is important. So being able to handle multiple offers and what you're doing with the multiple offers is something that is very important. Okay? An agent is in place to help ensure that people who are interested in making an offer actually come through, as buyers tend to work with agents instead of telling you that they'll be in touch only to never be heard of from ever again. It will also help to ensure the uniformity in the process when it comes to the forms that offer is submitted on, which the listing agent can request up front in the MLS notes. They can also help to manage the timeframes that are needed, with which offers can be submitted and how to respond. An agent will help direct you towards which in fact is the best offer. How you handle multiple offers. Are you asking for highest and best, or do you decide that you want to go with one particular offer or another? So an agent will help you to flesh out the offers so that you can determine which is the best offer for you based upon your unique situation and your unique circumstances. For example, you may need to have a higher deposit. You may need a shorter inspection period. You may need to negotiate repairs up front. You may decide that the home is being sold as is. Appraisals, inspections, there's so many different things that are being dealt with when you are looking at offers. And in our market today, some cases you're seeing that appraisal contingencies are being waived. So there are so many different variables involved in reviewing and negotiating offer, and an agent's going to help you with those particular items. One of the things that I do for my sellers when I have multiple offers is I put together a spreadsheet that shows asking price, all the details, down payment, asking price, inspection period, closing date, any extras. You know, do they need to sell their home in order to purchase your home? What type of financing is it? Is it FHA? Is it a VA? Is it cash? Have they shown you proof of funds? So those are some things that are important for you to consider when you are selling your home. One of the 4 things that you also have to know is that just because you are under contract and you've got this offer that you're happy with, it doesn't always necessarily mean that the transaction will actually close. So it is a crazy market, and there's sometimes people make offers and then they make an impulsive offer because they have this fear of missing out. How many of you have heard of FOMO? So they make an offer, it's the highest and best offer, and then they change their mind because they think, oh my gosh, did we pay too much for this house? Do we really want this house? Do we really want to pay that much over the asking price? Is it really worth that? So deals can come back to market because people have a change of heart. They could decide that after the inspection, they really don't want to have to deal with the repairs. So if you are selling your home on your own, you need to bear in mind that sometimes deals don't actually close for one reason or the other. And you are not always in control of why somebody's not purchasing your house. People have different reasons for deciding to move on and changing their mind, even though it is a hot market. Things come back to market sometimes. Sometimes when a buyer wins a bidding war, they have second thoughts and they become multi-critical. They're thinking to themselves, are we the suckers that paid too much money for this house? So a simple repair may be a reason for them to back out of the contract. Are you able to maneuver to keep this buyer in the game if you're selling this on your own? Well, realtors are experienced at trying and working on keeping a transaction in place. So there are lots of things that can be done to keep a buyer in the game and continue moving forward with this transaction. But if you are unexperienced in dealing with these types of situations, then you just don't know. So you're at risk. And if the property does come back to market, you're losing very valuable marketing time. They could see it coming back to market and people could say, wow, was there a major inspection issue with this property? Was it overpriced? Did it not appraise? Did the buyers not feel this house was worth it? So there are some things that you need to deal with if your property is under contract and it doesn't actually close. Buyers may be leery. Some of the 20 people that put in the offers on the property previously may not be interested. Some of them may have bought other properties. Some of them may have decided that now is not the time to buy. Others may have decided that they're taking a timeout from real estate. So there are so many factors that you need to consider when a deal doesn't go through and you lose your first buyer after having a bidding war with multiple buyers. So number 5, have you ever heard of the disconnect disease? Well, the disconnect disease is when sellers really are no awareness of what they need to do to get their home ready to sell. They may think, oh my gosh, this is such a hot market, I don't have to do anything to my house. But that is not actually the case. And a realtor will do a walkthrough of the home and tell the seller what are some of the things that they need to do to actually prepare the home for sale and get the highest amount of money for the sale. So you need to be coached on how to get your home ready and how to get it prepared for showing. And if you're just totally disconnected from what's going on in the market and going on with what you need to do to get your home sold, you may be disconnected from actually getting a buyer who's going to give you top dollar for your home. So what you don't realize is that there are many homes that are selling very quickly, but there's homes that are not selling quickly. And usually there's various factors on why the homes are not selling quickly. Typically, it has to do with price and condition, or it could be both. And usually the seller has unrealistic expectations on the value of the home. It could happen. And it could also happen, and this has happened to me before, where I was dealing with some sellers and they wanted to sell the home and they actually had their house for sale by owner. And I was actually able to list their home and they were able to net, with me selling their home, $20,000 above what they thought their house was worth. So these are some important factors that you may not be aware of, because this is not what you do for a living. This is not your professional expertise, which is why it's important to use somebody who is a professional who will help guide you through the process so that you can be prepared and have your home prepared for top dollar and not waste time and effort in this process. Not to mention the headaches. There is so much headaches. So knowledge is power, and it is very important to be able to work with somebody who is knowledgeable. So one of the 6 things to be aware of is that when you are selling your home on your own, transaction complications can cause headaches. They can cause headaches. There are so many things that can happen in a transaction. And let's start off with a pretty typical thing. A buyer's financing. So you may think that you get an offer, it's a fabulous offer, it's a financed offer, but something happened with the financing and they are not able to close on time. Well, and even backing up into that is, how do you know the offer that you have that is being financed is actually the best financed offer? Do you have expertise in dealing with mortgage lenders? Do you know what the right questions are to determine whether their buyers are viable candidates? So this is something that to me is ultra important. And that is being able to pre-qualify and make sure that whoever is buying your home can actually go to the closing table and close. So that is super important. And then how do you deal with delays? What happens if the lender has a delay and they can't close on the time that you were expecting to close? So there are so many different things that you need to maneuver, as far as the sellers need to figure out what they're going to do about living. You have to figure out, you had already planned that you were going to move out on the 1st and it's been delayed. So where are you going to go? How is it going to, do you have the money to go somewhere? So there's so many different factors that you need to consider when you're dealing with the nuances of a transaction. And that's why a listing agent is super important to help guide you through the process, because can be so stressful for the average person who is either selling or buying their property. It can be so stressful. But because we have been doing this for so many years and we have seen so many different scenarios, we have the expertise to be able to guide you through the process and help you find an issue that needs to be addressed. And sometimes it's a repair that can occur. I mean, you're ready to close in a week and then all of a sudden you see a leak somewhere and you need to get it fixed, but you need to be out of town because you're being relocated. So you need to be gone tomorrow. So who's going to help you negotiate? Who's going to help you maneuver that? Well, an agent can help. Agent has contacts with repair people, with different types of vendors to be able to help address that issue when something goes wrong. And that's why it's important to be able to work with somebody who has that experience to guide you through that process. So one of the last things that I wanted to mention to you is that post-occupancy issues are very common today in transactions. So sometimes you're going to be moving somewhere and you need the money from the house to be able to buy your next house. And so do you just pack all your stuff up and move that same day? I mean, how do you maneuver all this? A lot of times what we're seeing is that people are doing what we call post-occupancy or rent back. So sometimes people can stay in the house an extra day, 2 days, an extra month. It depends. And these are things that we can work with you on, and we can also upfront in a contract, when we accept an offer, we can say that the seller needs to have a post-occupancy and address it in advance so that whoever's buying the property knows that they're not moving in right away. There will be some type of rent back, or in some cases, I've seen people give post-occupancy for up to 30 days without having to pay any rent. So depends on the market and depends on what's out there. But these are some of the things that we're able to help negotiate. One of the other things that you need to know is that if somebody didn't tell you this, you wouldn't know that on the closing day, all of the utilities need to be turned on, because the buyer needs to do their walkthrough and they need to make sure that the utilities are on, so they can check to make sure that the water's running, the refrigerator's on. So these are things that are important. You need to know these things. You also need to know that the property needs to be clean. It needs to be swept clean. You can't leave your trash there for the new people that are moving in. It's got to be cleaned out. It's got to be swept clean. Of course, unless you have a conversation with the buyer and you discuss these things in advance. In some cases, you put stuff out on the front and they pick up the trash that day or the next day, but these are things that need to be discussed. So now more than ever, sellers need professional advisors by their side to be able to put all the pieces together. It is a hot seller's market. We know it's a hot seller's market, but if you don't know what you're doing and you've never sold a home before, there are so many things that could go wrong. And that's why real estate professionals are here to help you get through the hot times and the cold times. So I hope you like this video, and if you like it, I hope you thumbs up it and you subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.